topic. Manchester by the Sea won a bunch of Oscars last night. Have you guys seen that movie yet?
I have not.
Have you seen Manchester by the Sea?
I have not. I heard it's a pretty big bummer.
It's really well done. I think Casey Affleck definitely deserved that Oscar. The screenwriting is awesome. It's not a happy movie. It is a sad movie, which is surprising. You never get that with Oscar movies. Mm-hmm. But with that and this other one that you pointed out, Matt, with what Will Smith, did he own the rights to the movie? Was he just the EP on it or what? Netflix's Bright. We watched.
Yeah,
the
I don't
teaser
know
for
if he
this
was
before.
EP or what.
Do you even know what this is about? Or I mean, we watched the teaser. I'm still.
So the what it is he's a cop, and this is like regular world and fantasy world have come together.
Okay.
So it's like he's coexisting in this, where there's like regular people, but then there's like their description is a fantasy world. So I don't know if it's elves and giants or what it is.
So it's basically Cool World, but 2017. You guys remember that movie? Cool World, Brad Pitt, cartoons. Nobody?
Yeah,
okay,
no,
sorry,
I
go on.
I remember. I just don't believe we need to give it credit.
We need to do a reaction to that.
Didn't that have Kim Basinger in it too?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, she had
That's
sex
about all.
with a guy, then she became real. Remember that?
Somehow.
Yeah, that's the way it always happened.
Yeah.
Remember Mannequin?
It's more of a documentary.
How
than a
many
movie.
people wanted to nail Jessica Rabbit when Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out? Let's not lie. They just took that idea and they made it adult-oriented. No, the movie didn't make money. No, it didn't do well, but I still think it's a cult classic.
We know what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Here
one
it
of
is.
Brad's finer works.
So this is a fantasy world that somehow gets mixed in with the real world?
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
we don't really know what that means,
Teaser,
but-
I could piece
Okay.
that together.
Yeah, the teaser's really brief. Just in the description that I saw, it is that he's a cop. He's got to stop this disaster from happening, and it involves these people with powers.
Okay. Okay.
So the trailer or the teaser doesn't look bad.
No, it looked cool. I have no idea what it's about from the trailer, which, to be honest, I would like if more trailers did, because half the trailers you watch today are basically, here's a summary of every plot point in the movie so you see exactly where it's going.
Here's the part in The Sixth Sense where Bruce Willis realizes he's dead.
Another
In the
reason I
trailer.
love J.J. Abrams' trailer for The Force Awakens, because even when you watch that, you still don't really know where they're going or what points go where or whatever. Anyway, I have to throw in a little bit of Star Wars into clearly everything, so...
Oh, clearly.
Yeah. You know what, with this, and I think why this is a great topic is between Manchester on the Sea, we could talk TV series too, but let's stick to movies for right now. I think Manchester by the Sea, correct me if I'm wrong, is the first I don't even know if you call it blockbuster because it probably wasn't that big, high budget, but it was definitely the first Oscar award-winning movie that ever didn't even hit theaters. You know what I mean? That won an Academy
No, it was in the
Award.
theaters.
Huh? Manchester by the Sea
It
was
was
straight
in
to
the theaters.
Amazon.
No, Amazon distributed it. Amazon produced it, but you could go see it in your theater right now.
It did go to theaters?
I don't think this was a. I don't think this
you
is a
also
VOD.
from day one watch it
Man.
on Amazon Prime Video?
I'm not sure.
Because that's... Hold on. Manchester by the Sea theaters. Well, I think it was, but even if it wasn't, this is kind of... I don't know. This is going to take too long to look up. It's still not going to change the topic that I want to talk about is watching this trend of movies that go straight to your home. And what we're kind of used to is, when a movie goes straight to DVD or straight to video on demand, you're like, oh, we know what that means.
Trevor's 5.
Yeah. Focus groups didn't take to it. Studios didn't think they were going to get their money back from actually distributing it to theaters and putting a marketing team behind it. So let's just try to recoup our money and send it right back to. But now when you start to see some of these movies that could potentially go straight home that are really great, I don't think every movie needs to go to theaters. I'm not saying theaters are going to go away. Everything's just going to be online bullshit. People like going to the movies for an experience. But I do think, and George Lucas actually said this in an interview, God, what was it, like 7 or 8 years ago? There's a lot of genres that are going to go away from being in the theater. Just because you're going to get a bigger audience and probably more bang for your buck by going straight to a video on demand, business model. But you're always still going to have your blockbusters that are going to be in theaters. And as long as, I think his words were, as long as Green Bay Packer fans are always going to put on coats and stuff and go in sub-zero weather to see a game that you can't see half as well as you can on a TV screen at your home or at a restaurant or at a bar, people like being around other people. I would much rather watch Avatar in 3D in a theater with a whole bunch of people. I'd much rather watch Star Wars Episode 8 in a theater with a whole bunch of people. That's never going to go away. He said he predicted theaters are going to become much more accommodating with their accommodations to entertain an audience as far as being an event, in which you're already kind of seeing. I mean, when's the last time we went to a movie that we didn't have electric recliners that you get to lay back with? You're going to see more of that, where they're going to tailor it to being more of an experience. But you're also going to have a lot of movies that don't need to go theaters, that could just bypass and go straight to VOD, not just because they weren't successful as a movie or wouldn't do as well, as because it's a better place for them. And I think we're starting to see elements of that. Are you guys less likely to actually watch a movie if it goes straight VOD than to go see it in theaters?
Not at all. Actually, I think the opposite would be true. I probably feel more like a lot of the stuff that hits the theaters, I'd be more inclined to actually watch it if I could just access it either through Hulu or Netflix or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I guess I kind of wondered, though, what the advertising budgets are going to be like then.
It'll be a
It'll be
different
interesting,
model.
a shift in market.
But you know what's funny is because there's still only a handful of channels that most people are going to find the stuff in the first place, right? You got your Netflix. I don't know how that works with Hulu, but it is an avenue. And then you got your Amazon Prime, and then you got your directly through iTunes. Those are really the big four, where most people are going to find this stuff. Since I don't think it's going to be where you're going to have like 30 new movies that you're definitely going to watch, and maybe to some extent that's already true for the indies that we don't even watch or follow up on, that actually do come out that you can get right on video on demand for a while. But this was the first mainstream one that got a lot of attention anyway, Manchester by the Sea, where if let's say we have a new movie that comes out with someone like Casey Affleck that is a renowned actor, we got a great director and screenplay, and it's done well, and it goes right to iTunes. It'll probably be on multiple platforms unless, like this movie, Amazon put the money behind, so of course it's going to be on their platform exclusively, at least for the beginning, if not forever. It's going to be right in the front page. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do you even need to market at that point? I didn't see any marketing
you do.
for
I mean,
Manchester.
to some extent, I think you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Netflix, you want to get people to subscribe to Netflix, even if it's just to see that movie and check out other content.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Because Netflix doesn't sell a movie.
You
can't rent a movie.
No,
from
I
Netflix.
agree with you. But what I'm saying is Netflix exclusive stuff that was developed and paid for by Netflix. Let's take Voltron for an example. Other than the trailers that we've seen, have you seen any other advertising or marketing for that?
Outside materials, no.
What about, let's see, what else have they done? House of Cards. That
Jessica
I've seen commercials
Jones.
from time to time in places.
Well, House of Cards they didn't do.
They didn't. Netflix did. That's all Netflix. That was a $150 million investment by Netflix that did with Kevin Spacey and David Fincher. That was Netflix.
Was that Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that was on a different.
Nope, that was Netflix
Because
exclusive.
that was like an Amazon.
That was a big deal. Kevin Spacey making a mainline TV show with David Fincher directing, who just had done The Social Network, and they were putting a $150 million budget into that show. That was everywhere. That was a big deal. And everyone's thinking, whoa, this was before Netflix or even online services original content would be maybe considered in the mindset of, the American people as, okay, is it a real show, though? It's a Netflix show. And as soon as that show came on, you're like, oh, there really is no difference. The same people make these movies and TV shows. They spend the same amount of money on them. There is no difference. It really helped that mindset of, oh, no, a TV show on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon can be just as good as a TV show that you see on a broadcast network or a cable provider because the same people make them. And they make them the same way. There's no difference. But that was a big hump for it, too. No, I think that's interesting, but watching, again, it's a sad movie, but seeing all the Academy Awards actually from just an online distributor like Amazon that did this, I think is a big sign of things to come, and I'm just wondering, how many movies do you think over the next year, what would be some stuff that you'd rather see? What kinds of movies would you rather see come straight home right away, day one, than actually having to go to a theater and see? Obviously, we've already talked about that wouldn't be like Star Wars or Avatar, but what kind of movies would you like to see come home right away?
The Ridiculous Six with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you watch that?
that was a good thing. That was a good thing.
Don't
But
forget
it was
about
funny.
numero seis.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Adam Sandler movies are not Oscar movies. Some people might hate Adam
Well,
Sandler.
I was gonna say
That
that
movie
some of
was
the,
funny,
some of the
though.
comedies, some of the romantic comedies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more prone to watch that here at home
Yeah.
Do you
than I
thi-
probably am gonna pay $10 or $11 a ticket.
That makes me wonder. That's a good point. Do you think rom-coms are going to be more prolific at home over the next decade or two than they will be in theaters, because that's kind of the big date aspect. But now everybody's using the term Netflix and chill. Are more people just going to stay in, or are they still going to go out for a date to take their girlfriend?
Do they even date anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been out of the game for 8 years.
That's what I mean.
It doesn't sound like they date anymore.
The millennial. Yeah, I shouldn't speak.
Back in
for
my
millennials
day.
do. Maybe they're going to be busy Snapchatting themselves, getting out of their car. I'm going on my
Yep.
date now. Check it out. Hey, what's
Yeah.
going? I don't even know what this.
Not like when you used to court a lady, and then you'd hold the door for her,
Uh-huh.
and then you would pay for her meal without any expectation. I mean, not like, hey, let's go
See,
split
he'd
a coffee.
say that, and then he'd come home and be like, "What the hell? I spent all the money on this girl."
Oh, bullshit.
I love how
Maybe
all
I
of our
wasn't quite
topics
that
derail
chivalrous.
into
It
some
wasn't
of
like I
that.
didn't put an effort in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it used to be you had to work to get a date. It
Yeah,
wasn't just
stuff's
like
changed
swipe
a lot.
left, swipe left, swipe left,
Yeah.
swipe right, or whatever
Ugh.
direction you're swiping. I don't know.
So glad I'm not in the age group where that's the yeah. Let's go back to what we were talking about
All
before.
right.
What other kind of
Romantic
genres?
comedies.
Yeah. What other kind of genres would you rather see come home right away though?
Well, I mean, just like those simple comedy movies. I mean, The Ridiculous Six was a good example. Like the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
Just
I'd love to see Clerks 3. He said he's having trouble getting Clerks 3, Mallrats 2, and something else made. If he could go straight VOD,
yeah.
I'd be all for that.
I think Mallrats already got scrapped.
Oh, really?
He said on his Twitter feed last week that he's moving on to the new Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? With VOD, maybe they'll still get life yet. I'm trying to think what else would be good. I love getting documentaries and right away. And you know what Netflix has been great for is getting a lot more comedian acts on there that have been really good.
stand-ups.
Comedy
Yeah.
Specials.
Yeah, I would much rather. I mean, that's the first place I go to when I think and that new series with Maria Bamford, Lady Dynamite.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. That wouldn't exist without Netflix.
Well, and Jerry Seinfeld's his comedians in cars
Oh,
getting
yeah.
coffee.
Yep.
Was that acquired by Netflix or Hulu or one of the services?
I think it's some kind of online.
Got it.
Actually, I think that might have been. Oh no, it's the Carpool Karaoke is Apple. Apple bought that. Yeah, I don't remember what service that goes for, but I know what you're talking about. You know, the more I
it
think
started out on Crackle, and then now somebody else bought it.
right. The more I think about it, this kind of genre of I'm not going to just call it a sad movie, a drama like Manchester by the Sea. This is definitely a movie I would much rather go right to VOD, right home. I mean, when I go out to the movies, I'm not saying that they don't have the right to be out there, but me personally, when I go to the movies, I don't want to go to a movie like this. It's really well done. The character, the acting was amazing. The story was amazing. It was all that great stuff. But you don't walk out of there with a real sense of pep in your step. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I'm going to go out, that's not really how I want to feel after a movie. So this
Still
was
want to cry in a room full of strangers.
Yeah.
Means you're weak.
Yeah. You're weak.
Got something in my eye.
No, it's cool. My cat just died.
Real men don't feel.
But that was the perfect type of movie that I would rather have come home right away. That was great. I just like having this option, and I was impressed with how quickly the mindset you kind of see Universal, that everyone sees them now as not being lower tiered movies or TV shows. Like they're like full-fledged shows. Like Voltron, that was a full-fledged TV show. You know, House of Cards, not just a full-fledged TV show. That was huge. Technically, in a way, what's the difference between that and like HBO making the shows they've always made? Well, we got them through a delivery system like cable or satellite, but ones and zeros are ones and zeros.
They also seem a lot more open-ended too with their content. Like, yeah, you see like a lot of obviously like movies and TV shows produced, but I'll peruse like Netflix and I'll see like a lot of stuff out there that's kind of internationally based. Like they have like
A lot of British stuff on there.
there's some they've done British. I've seen South American. 3% was a great series. I loved watching that. Knights of Sidonia, anime based Netflix original. They do a lot of that kind of content. So they really cast their net really wide with what they're
broken down the barriers you can get anywhere from anywhere.
Yeah, and they'll just try just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which makes sense because, I mean, think about it. The old ways of doing stuff, if you wanted to get something on a TV network or even to an extent into a theater, you got to worry about the costs and the license rights to get it to wherever you're going to send it. Then you got to worry about marketing costs to try to get the demographic that you're shooting for that's actually going to want to watch what you want to see.
Yeah.
Now, because of the internet, I mean, that's the whole reason even this show can frickin' exist. There probably aren't millions of people out there that really care about specifically our three opinions, which is really the only reason you're watching the show.
Yet.
Unless you've stumbled across us and you're just too lazy to click away, right? So the fact that you actually have this huge, broad distribution system where anybody can find anything, and it's easier to have niches that, okay, maybe you're not going to have 250,000 or a few million people watch this movie or TV show, but if even like 10,000 do, you never could have gotten to them before. Well, right now they're just a click away. And people tend to find what they're looking for because it relates to other stuff they look. Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of cool. I guess we'll go ahead and end with, if there's one. We already did what kind of genres we like to see come from home. Is there anything coming out this? What are some of the movies you guys are excited for that we know are coming out this year? Because I'm assuming none of them you'd want to come straight home, because if it's going to be a Marvel movie, we're going to want to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Did you guys see?
That's the only one that's dragging me out.
Yeah, did you guys see any of the Academy Award nominees? I mean, besides Manchester by the Sea, I'm trying to think. I didn't see... What's the one about the black women that were working for NASA? I don't know.
I can't remember the name of it.
Well, there was that one.
But I mean, there was like... Princess Moonlight. But even think about last year, like... Spotlight, I still haven't seen Spotlight.
Spotlight was good. I love Spotlight. That's another perfect one I'd love to come straight home. Spotlight was really good. La La Land I still haven't seen. Everybody says it's awesome, and that does sound like it'd be something down my avenue. I like this musical kind of stuff too. La La Land.
Hell or High Water.
What was it?
Hell or High Water.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if it was a Best Picture one, but it was. Yeah.
And then there was what was the one that Mel Gibson did? Hacksaw Ridge. Is that what it was called with Andrew Garfield? That got
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, that got a lot of praise.
I have that one though.
Oh, do you?
No.
Don't tell me what happens. I'm sure it's a war movie where people die and there's a big character arc. Or is there? Who knows?
Well, there's this guy sitting on a bench, and he's got a box of chocolates.
Wow, the trailer really I love it when they do that bait and switch.
You know, yeah. Like,
sweet. No, and then Forrest Gump comes in. He's talking to Dumbledore, and they decide they need to make sure that the Cylons don't attack before.
That's what you get when you write a screenplay when your fever's 105.
Well, that's where true creativity comes out. That or cocaine. Yeah.
Gremlins 2.
Well, that's a perfect. You know what?
Hulk Hogan.
We need to watch Gremlins 2 and do a reaction. God, that movie was awesome. It was so different and weird and look. God, but man, I've got a big spot in my heart for that movie. There's a lot of good, weird.
2 years ago, Christmas time, walking through the stores, original Gremlins, $5 for the DVD. I'm there with the kids. I'm like, yeah, let's get this. I love this movie when I was a kid.
You showed it to your
put
kids?
it in a DVD player. And I was like, are you friggin' kidding me? That movie is scary as shit.
2 you could probably show to the kids. That was more mainstream. Remember, the first one was more of a pseudo horror scary one. The second one was.
I didn't remember it that way though.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Did you guys pick
We
out
made
a
it about
therapist yet, or
15
are you
minutes
still
into
going
it.
through your options? Or
I think we're still going. I'm gonna wait till they get into their late teens, so that all of these things are permanent.
Yeah. Well, that you can probably get like a group discount.
Yeah, but I'm sure by then my wife will need it as well.
There you go.
That's a perfect way to end the show. Well, this will be interesting because next week you guys are going to be doing the show by your lonesome. And are you guys going to be doing the reaction to Logan? Are you both going to see that opening night? You guys can talk about that.
Yeah, we will.
You guys can discuss that if you're going to do that. Because I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, so you guys are going to have some fun. Get crazy with it, man.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if we can get some DMCA takedown
Dancing
notices
girls.
and I can get some copyright strikes. You know what'll be funny is, so Dan's going to do all the editing and stuff. And I come back, I'll watch the episode, post it, and I want to see how creative Dan could possibly get, where he's throwing in a whole bunch of shit I didn't even know he knew how to do. Where he's like copying over your voice with that robotic voice that's saying weird shit like...
Some auto-tune.
I'm thinking more like, hey, Matt.
Yeah. And here's another fade.
Dan's sending me text, just
Remember
trust
that
me on
one
this.
time?
And then there's a computer voice over your mouth that says, punch my balloon knot. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
We're taking the show in a new direction.
Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. So you still got another week to finish Game of Thrones Season 3, because I'll be back next Monday, too. But cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
well, you guys...
I just finished 6, so...
Dude, just wait. It keeps getting... And it keeps getting better. Yeah, I'm actually probably going to take a lot of those clips you've already sent from some of the episodes, and we'll throw that into a big Season 3 shebang. It's going to be awesome.
Shebang, bang.
Cool. Anything else you guys want to throw in before we sign off?
No, I don't think so.
Matt, you good?
No, I think we've thoroughly wrecked this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 14 of Fractured Focus, the show where we obsess about everything from geek culture to nerd news, along with random topics for discussion. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, as we post a topic of the show each day of the week, Monday through Thursday, and try to entertain you, attempt our very best, with our semi-witty banter and our incessant rambling. Until next time, I don't know, goodbye.
Late.
A long goodbye. Goodbye.
An evil petting zoo. Until next time.